I find myself that I'm
Wakey wakey, it's time to go to school! My body is still very much adjusting from summer mode to school mode. My goal for this week is to survive, get enough sleep, try to see everything with an open mind, especially when I'm in those mandatory classes learning information that I'm never gonna use again and my soul feels like dying a little bit. And to do some weekly meal prepping. And no, I don't mean putting chicken and rice and bland oatmeal into containers for a whole week. That would be literal torture for me. Usually on Sundays, I like to sit down and figure out roughly what I want to eat the next week, depending on how hectic my schedule looks and what I'm craving. So I'll pick something I want to bake, oatmeals I want to try, food reels that caught my eye, and I'll make a cute little list in my notes app and head to the grocery store. This week had some incredibly life-changing moments for me because I was confronting one of my biggest enemies, who I've never been on good terms with. Cottage cheese. Yeah, I know, she's been having her moment, dominating social media. 2023 is cottage cheese year, and I promised myself I would never fall victim to this trend, but I guess people change, and this is just the power of social media. I decided what better way to participate in the cottage cheese cult than mixing my favorite thing with my least favorite thing? A risky decision. It could have ended very badly, but I kid you not, these pancakes blew my mind. I love myself a moist, fluffy, mushy pancake, and it's a great boost of protein, and you can't taste the cottage cheese at all.
Wait a minute, that is so good. Oh my god, moistness.
I mean, disguising it as a pancake and drenching it in maple syrup might have been cheating a little bit, but still, quite remarkable.
If you hate cottage cheese, you need to buy it to make this.
I think the thing that gets me, honestly, is the texture, like the chunky curdled nuggets of varying sizes suspended in slightly lumpy liquid. It's not the first thing that comes to mind when I think of the word appetizing, but if I'm going to commit to cottage cheese, I can't just hide it in a pancake. So I made this garlic bruschetta cottage cheese toast, and I slathered a generous layer of curdled cheese on it, okay? That is yummy. What is it? Yeah, it was actually not bad. The flavor of cottage cheese is super mild and it pairs well with sourdough, and it does really complement the sweet tangy tomatoes. I don't even know what I'm eating, but it's so good. The only thing that is not okay about that is now my breath smells entirely like garlic. So really bad. The person that's gonna have to sit next to me and clash. It's like 12 p.m. on a Monday, and already my computer has broken down and given me a heart attack, and I'm already ready for bed, so we're off to a great start. It's been tough coming back to school after taking a year off. I had my own routine down, I worked my own hours, all my time was mine, and now so much of my time is taken up by classes, prepping for class, getting to class, pretending I'm paying attention during class. But I did make it a personal goal of mine to not let school take over my life too much, as in I need to find time to be me, first of all, so I don't go absolutely crazy, and so I can stay relatively healthy. Now, being healthy isn't just about how much you work out and what you eat and how your body looks. The things we think make us healthy are literally not even measures of health. We forget that health isn't big muscles and a grocery basket full of celery or $100 Pilates classes. I think this might actually take me 3 months to read. So what this is you read both of these books at the same time. You jump from book to book. I'm too excited. But yeah, we got to section them off. I very much thought for my entire life that my ideal university healthy productive girl routine would go something along the lines of meal prepping all of my meals while working out 5 times a week, going to my part-time job, hitting all my protein goals, green juice, going out with friends every night, reading, sleeping enough, making time for my creative hobbies, attending all the meetings for the 4 clubs I joined, while also getting good grades and slaying all my classes. And what I learned from all that is if you are stressed out of your mind about being healthy and sleeping like 3 hours a night just so you have time to be healthy, I'm sorry to be the one to break it to you, but that's not healthy. It's probably doing more harm than good, to be honest. I want to remind you there's a difference between trying to be healthy and trying to be perfect. And I know, we all have this list of everything we want to do, and it feels like there are never enough hours in a day. You can't do everything. but you can choose everything that matters most to you right now. Not every single thing deserves your time and energy at all times. Deciding what isn't worth your time is how we make time to be healthier and happier humans. So sit down and really ask yourself, what is important to me right now? What can health realistically look like for me right now? Good morning. It's too early. It hasn't even been 12 hours yet, and I'm back in the same place. What are the things I should focus more on and less on that will help me support my goals? And health is going to look so different for college me than it did for summer me or gap year me. In the summer, I also had so much more energy and mental real estate to pour into being creative and soul searching and reading 10 hours a day. I can't go in with the expectation that my exercise routine will look the same with 6 classes and a full-time job as it did in the summer when I had 24 hours of free time. But I can still move my body for at least 10 minutes a day to clear my head and feel energized. Now I'm prioritizing making yummy, nutritious, easy to pack food instead of making aesthetically pleasing food. I'm prioritizing sleep over posting consistently on social media. I joined 0 clubs so I can have time to edit these videos. And sometimes health is just focusing on really little things. Bringing my water bottle everywhere I go, always having a feel-good snack ready to eat in the fridge, setting up a bedtime/close your laptop alarm at 10 p.m. It's never underestimating the power of a 10-minute morning yoga or walk. I'm hungry. Look what I found in the cafeteria. Oh my gosh, so good. Whoa. And the edamames get so peanut buttery. Yum.
Mother's son made me some tea because I'm moody and tired.
Yes, staying caught up with my classes is important, but so is staying caught up with my mental health, as in making sure I have time to do things that keep me mentally stable. Therapy, books, YouTube, cooking with my mom.
A mother-son's garden.
These seemingly little healthy habits and beliefs you implement into your day-to-day life are what adds up to create a healthy life. Oh my god, it smells so freaking yummy. And it's so not about being perfect with your routine and your meals and your habits. It's actually about letting go of that perfection. It really is okay. It's okay if you didn't go to the gym, if you forgot to drink water all day, if you're a little behind on your classwork, if you gained some weight, if you haven't eaten a vegetable for a week. Oh my goodness. It doesn't mean you failed. Go a little easier on yourself. I found that when I stopped expecting perfect, that's when I found peace with food and exercise and how I look and how I live. Instead of trying to be this perfect healthy person, I'm trying to be a realistic healthy person.
They go to an Ivy League school, alumni meeting, force them to follow it with.
So juicy.
No way to change our yesterday.
So Tuesdays and Thursdays are my early morning classes, and I'm out the door by 7 and have class with no breaks until like right before noon. And sometimes I'm just not hungry in the mornings, or I'm so confused by the class content that I forget to feel hungry. But other times my stomach is rumbly and there's a part of me that's like, I'll just eat after. I'll just wait until lunch. No one else is eating, so I don't need to eat either. But I also know if I don't eat by the time lunch comes around, I'm going to be so freaking ravenous and most likely eat everything in sight. One day, I was feeling a little peckish, but no one else is eating, and I was like, okay, I'll eat after. But then I saw my friend eat a breakfast sandwich at 8 a.m. during class, and she had no idea how much I needed to see that. Seeing her just honoring her hunger, just being a normal human, it's so weird how we try to fight against all these things that just make us human. Feeling hungry or having cravings is our body's way of asking us for something it needs. Our job is pretty simple: to pay attention and listen and to trust it. And it's okay to be hungry when no one else is. It's okay to eat earlier some days. It's okay to eat even when you're not hungry so you won't be overly hungry later. It's okay to eat breakfast. Not just water or green juice or coffee, but breakfast. And I really do have more regular balanced meals throughout the day when I do. I tend to feel more satisfied at other meals, have fewer cravings at night, I feel like my energy levels are more stable, and most importantly, it prevents me from turning into evil, hangry Linda. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, I want to be your breakfast sandwich and let you know you always deserve to honor your hunger and fuel your bodies. Okay, this moment right here is super important. I think this was the turning point for my relationship with cottage cheese. I put a layer over my avocado toast and smeared it with chili oil and honey, and I am speechless. Like, all the different textures and flavor profiles, it's just magical. It's sweet and savory and spicy and creamy.
I'm lost for words. I'm bleeding chili oil. This is so freaking delicious. I genuinely thought I hated cottage cheese my whole life. Turns out I just didn't know what I was doing.
Eating less isn't better. A smaller body isn't healthier. Being hungry is not an accomplishment. Eating later during the day doesn't mean you win. Not listening to your body isn't really something you should be proud of. Having the discipline to never eat your favorite foods or feeling guilty after enjoying a meal sounds like a very miserable life. And obsessing over every meal sounds like an exhausting one.
Mommy, 你不割我的豆角。
You are more than a body, more than what you ate today, more than how much you weigh. Remember, it's not about how good we think our bodies look, but knowing our bodies are good regardless of how they look.
Wow. Oh my god, it's so 不难吃。难吃。不难吃。
Sometimes the best workout you can do isn't the sweatiest one, the heaviest one, or the longest one, but simply the one that feels good, the one that your body is asking for.
Okay. Save the pancake batter first. My hair. My clothes. Why? Okay. This is not okay. What the actual, like, why?
Yeah, that happens to me way more often than it should. Anyways, I saw this waffle yogurt combo on Instagram and it immediately won me over. You spread a yogurt peanut butter cinnamon situation within the waffle crevices, and then you end up with this higher protein, super satisfying and satiating, beautiful breakfast. It was definitely worth the waffle battered hair and sweater and floor. Making time for waffles on a school day is my form of self-care today. And it's totally fair if you say you don't have time to waffle or meal prep or sleep or drink water or go for a walk. But is it you don't have time, or is it just you don't want to or know how to make time? I don't think you'll ever regret prioritizing your health. At the end of the day, it's just me and this body and brain of mine for the rest of my life. I'm really stuck with them whether I like it or not. So I really do believe you'll never regret putting putting in the time to make it a safer, stronger, kinder place to be. This is one way I make time. You know how people have FOMO, like fear of missing out? I literally have the opposite. I have joy from missing out because I love knowing that I'm spending my time doing the things that actually matter to me and make me happy. I used to say yes to every invite and opportunity, even to stuff I never really wanted to go to, typical people pleaser tendencies. But I recognize that I can't show up to everything and never show up for myself. Discover what matters most to you and fill your time with those instead of the things that seem to matter most to everyone else. Learning to say no and exercising my right to prioritize myself is one of the best things that's happened to me. Sometimes saying no is how you say yes to yourself. It's given me time to create, to hang out with mother-son, to not overload my schedule so I don't feel stressed and panicky all the time. It's helped me differentiate between the events and social hangouts that actually get me excited instead of the ones that leave me feeling empty. It's helped me surround myself with people that fill my cup instead of drain it. It's helped me become more in tune with my energy and be able to set the boundaries I need for myself to protect that energy. And striking that balance between those times you should get out of your comfort zone and go to that social thing or event, or when you should stay home and watch a movie by yourself. And even if it doesn't feel like it, you know yourself a lot better than you think you do, and with time and practice, you'll learn to believe it. At the end of every week, I like to do a little reflecting because even if I don't feel like I learned anything super valuable in my lectures, I always find I learned something at least a little valuable about myself. I think there are a lot of takeaways from this week. First, baked oats are the best meal preppable school snacker meal. I'm obsessed. And I'd say by far the biggest win from this week was befriending cottage cheese. We're not best friends, not even close, but I'd say we now respect one another. And another takeaway, thank the breakfast sandwiches of your life. The people who unknowingly remind you to take care of yourself. The people who see you sitting alone eating your pizza and decide to pull up a chair and say hi. The ones who make you feel less alone. The ones who make you laugh. The ones who inspire you. The ones who challenge you. The ones who feel like a warm hug. The ones who you're just so glad exist. You should thank them. Learn from your mistakes. This week I also learned I've always been the rabbit. You know the story about the turtle and the rabbit, slow and steady wins the race. Yeah, no, I've been losing that race. But lately I think I've evolved into the turtle. While everyone around me seems to be obsessed with productivity and the grind life, I see now that trying to be the most productive person ever actually made me the least productive person ever. Let me explain. Is it really productive if you work yourself to a point of exhaustion where you have to quit your job and drop out of school for a whole year just to regain enough mental energy to get out of bed in the morning? I know that's kind of an extreme example, but it is my personal experience. We are all human and we all have limits. I'd rather do less things day to day, see progress over a longer period of time, go at a pace that is sustainable and healthy. I'd rather get there eventually than burn out and maybe not even get there at all, or get there and be too tired to even enjoy it. However, I'm also very grateful that I was the rabbit, or else I would have never gained these new perspectives or learned what works for me, or take breaks from doing homework to make the absolutely most gorgeous pepperoni bacon pizza with garlic butter crust and hot honey drizzle. Yeah, it tasted better than it sounds. But maybe everyone is both the turtle and the rabbit, or maybe we have to be the rabbit first and lose the race to gain the insight to become this wise turtle. I don't know, but I've learned from my mistakes and learned to like them too. So I'm sorry if you wanted some quick tips on how to study for 20 hours a day and run a side hustle and perfectly portion out your meals and how to be a robot. I'm not the person you want to go to for that, but I will tell you, don't be too hard on yourself. Some days, my best does look like having enough energy to meal prep and exercise and get caught up in all my classes and still have time to read at night. And then there are days where my best looks like barely getting through my classes and going straight home and passing out. Some days, the last thing I want to do is touch my laptop, talk to another living soul, pick up my camera and film myself. Most days, I want to cry in class. Sometimes my meals are balanced, and other times you just need a big bowl of comfort food. Some days my best looks like being miserable and cranky and doing the things I don't want to do. And some days, there are more important things in my life to take care of than being productive.
In your life?
So do something nice for yourself this week, whether that's trying out a new workout class or baking your favorite fall baked good, maybe try out some cottage cheese recipes, or take time to reflect on the lessons you learned this week. As always, thank you for eating with me. Thank you for being here. Go eat something yummy. I love you so much, and we'll talk soon.